You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So once we access the that application manager console, so this is the first page. Okay. After that, here we have to choose the monitoring. Here there is a tabs. See here, manage engine application manager 10. This is the version, and if you observe here, there is a tabs called new monitor group and new monitor. Okay, so these two tabs we use. Okay, so if you go to new monitor, it will display all the products, what are the products we can monitor. So using this application engine manager. Okay, so we have to choose new monitor tab here. So after that it will go to the next window. So this is the next window. Okay, so here we have to create new monitor or new group. Okay, and click on next. Here, one moment. Okay, so here click on new monitor group. So after that, here we have to specify the group name. Okay, so monitor group name is my app 3. So group means we can monitor multiple application servers or multiple operating systems or multiple services at a time. So if you group that multiple services in the group, so then it is very easy to monitor by the monitoring tool. So if there any it is useful for cluster also, so we can monitor the cluster using this group. So create a group here, and so after creating a group, so the monitoring will be come like this. See here, here is the green. Okay, so green means the server is the server health is fine. Okay, there is no critical alarm here. And here we can see some properties like the name is here it will display the server name, which server we are going to monitor, and the health it will display health is clear, no critical alarm at present. Okay, and the type is monitoring group. If it is single monitor, it will show just monitoring is a new monitor. Okay, and it will show created date, and when we have created this alarm, and here last modified date and monitor interval also. So here the 6 means every 6 minutes it will go and monitor the particular server health. Okay, and now click on new monitor for create for configuring single server. Go to new monitor tab, and here we have to choose the server, which server we want to monitor. Okay, in the list, in the application server list, the last is websphere server. Okay, so in this screenshot they are going to monitor JBoss server here. Okay, JBoss is also a application server. Okay, here we have to choose the server and click on next. Here we have to specify the properties of that server. So earlier, when I tried yesterday, it was giving some problem. So when I click on add monitor, okay, so here we have to choose the server type, either JBoss, WebLogic, WebSphere, or Tomcat server we have to choose. And the display name, give the some name. What is the server name we have to display here, and host name where the server is running, and the subnet mask we can see in if config, type ip config, or if it is Windows, ip config. So to display the IP address and subnet mask, if it is Linux box, if config. Okay, so there we can find the subnet mask address. Here we have to specify that address, and port number of that particular application server. Okay, and if you enable SSL, so we can choose this checkbox, otherwise we can leave it. Okay, and the version, so the JBoss version is 4.x here. So if you select WebSphere application server, here we have to choose 8.5. And the pooling interval means it should be in minutes. Okay, so every 5 minutes it will go and check the server, it will monitor the server, so whether it is running or not. Okay, so if it is not running, if it is in overload state, or I mean critical state, so it will generate a it will trigger an alert for to our email ID. Okay, so that configuration the tools team will do. Okay, so provide these details and click on add monitor. Okay, so provide these details and click on add monitor. So then the next screen will be come like this. See here. Okay, here the name is application manager, and the health is clear, no critical alarm at present, and monitoring type is monitoring group, and this is the time. Okay, and here we can create alarms. Okay, for alarms, go to this tab. Here you can see three types of alarms. First one is critical. Okay, if it is in critical state, so available actions, so email action, fuel test action, and trap action. Here we have to choose email action. So choose this email action, click on this arrow button, so it will move the email option from here to associated action in this box. Okay, so whenever the server is in critical state, it will the monitoring tool will trigger us an email, so that we can look into that issue. Okay, and here warning, if the server is in warning state, so email we need email alert. So for that, select the email action here, uh, move from here to here, associated actions, and clear also. So whenever you start the server, it will trigger an email, the server is up and running, health is clear. Okay, so like this we can configure the alarms for email notification, and click on save. The configuration will be saved. Okay, so this configuration will we will do in the monitoring tool level, and in real time they will give us only read only permissions to monitor these tools, because the tools team as the administrators, a separate team for doing the administration on configuration changes. So they will give us only read only permission. So what we can do is we can monitor the servers directly, but we cannot make any changes. Okay, and here if you want to see the CPU utilization threshold details. Okay, so in the first screen there is a tab called threshold details. If you click on that tab, so the screen will come like this. Okay, so here we have to choose the monitor name as WebSphere. This name is already we have given at the time of monitoring. So for threshold, if you click on threshold details, the name will come by default. Okay, and here we have to choose CPU utilization threshold and click on save. Okay, if you want to modify, here there is a edit button also, edit button.
Okay.
So I will share you this URL. I can go through this. So like that we can work as per the alerts. So which is triggering by ticketing, I mean monitoring tool. So we have a lot of monitoring tool. It depends on project and client. So currently I'm using TM Art. TM Art is the monitoring tool. So earlier I was using Nagios. So now this is the new project, and the TM Art is the monitoring tool for us. So the next topic is troubleshooting. So generally, we used to listen about like troubleshoot. So what is meant by troubleshoot? So troubleshoot means it's a kind of repair. So if anyone reported any issues, so while doing the administration, so while accessing the users and clients will access the applications frequently. So at the time, if anyone having any issues, so they will report the issues to us. Okay. So we need to being an administrator, our job is we have to look into that issue and troubleshoot. Okay. So generally how the issues are coming. Okay. So here troubleshooting means we have to troubleshoot the servers for these reasons. Okay, the first one is if the server may crash. So server crash means the server completely down. Okay, and server may hang. That means server is up and running, but it will not provide any services for the application. That means user cannot access the application, but the server is running, but the server will run, but we cannot access the application. It will not serve, it will not run any of the application inside the server. Okay. And the third one is threads are using high CPU utilization. Okay. So thread means it is a lightweight process. Okay. So websphere application server is multi-threaded programming. Okay. So multiple threads are running in the server. Okay. So that if the threads are using high CPU utilization, the application will not be accessible. Okay. And the next one is application is not accessing effectively. Okay. The client requests are overloaded while accessing the application. So client request means suppose the estimation request is 100. Suppose take one application example, uh, like Flipkart or Amazon. So for one, the estimation client request is 1000. So but the same time 1000 requests per second. So but the application requests are coming 2000 requests. At the time we can say client requests are overloaded. So at the time server will not respond properly. Okay. So then the users and clients will report an issue. The application is not accessible properly. So at the time we have to troubleshoot the servers. Okay. And the connection pool fail. Connection pool means it is related to database. If the connection is pool is fail, we cannot able to log in to that application. So it will take long time to log in, or otherwise it will sometimes it will fail the login. So these problems we will get if the connection pool is fail at the database level. Okay. And the queue are overloaded. So this is related to again requests. Okay. So all the client requests stores in the queue queue is managed by the websphere application server. So all the requests are coming into the picture, so those requests are stored in the queues. Okay. If the queue is overloaded, then the server will not respond. Okay. And the final one is file cannot read and write for the application. So that means whatever the file we have deployed in the server, EAR file or WAR file, so it will not read and write in the server. Okay. So at that time we have to troubleshoot the server. So these are the reasons we are going with troubleshoot. Okay. Server crash, server hang, CPU utilization, application not accessing properly, and client requests are overloaded, and connection pool fail, queue are overloaded, file cannot be read and write for the application. Okay. So these are all the reasons. Okay. Now we will go with one by one what is meant by crash. So crash means WebSphere server Java process no longer exists. That means WebSphere server is completely down. Okay. So the process is terminated or killed. Okay. That means the server is not running. Obviously the application will also go down. At the time we cannot able to access the application. So that time clients and users who is accessing that application, they will report an issue for us. So we have to take that issue and we have to analyze where is the issue and all. Okay. And we will bring up the services. Okay. So analysis we will do, analysis, for analysis we have different types of analysis. We will do that in the class itself. Okay. So as of now, crash means the sphere server Java process no longer exists. Okay. And the second point is Java process terminates due to some native code is running in WebSphere. Sorry, I put wrong web browser. Okay. So WebSphere server. So Java process terminate due to some native code. Native code means non-Java code. Okay. Suppose if you deploy any non-Java code, C or C++ or .NET or some PHP, so these type of codes we cannot run in the WebSphere, because WebSphere is JVM. WebSphere server is JVM process. It follows JVM architecture, so we cannot execute another code. So if you deploy another code, immediately the server, the Java process will terminate. Okay. It will not run. And the third point is at the time of JVM crash. So JVM means entire process crash, or mission crash. Mission crash means the Linux system, the entire Linux system crash. The application get binary code. Some application gets binary code means sometimes we used to get some code. Suppose if I am accessing some application from the browser internet, sometimes the application will not be display here page. Sometimes we used to get some code, binary code, XML code, or some binary code it will display. Okay. So that binary code we will get if the server crash or JVM crash or machine crash. Okay. That is the meaning of crash. Okay, so causes, what is the reasons for crash? Okay, how the crash is happening. So the first one is native code is running on websphere server. Native code means non-Java code. And native IO. Native IO means input and output. If you give wrong URL, if you give wrong request, so then it will definitely the server goes down. Okay, so because the server is sensitive, it will read only the secure request and unsecure requests also, but it cannot read negative native IOs. Okay, and using type 1 323 JDBC drivers. Okay, so we cannot use these three drivers. We have to use only pure Java driver. So at the time of JVM JDBC configuration, I told you we cannot use these three drivers. These three having some disadvantages. So we use only type 4 driver. If anyone choose this driver, so then definitely the WebSphere application server cannot read the request. So then it will if the requests are coming from these drivers, then definitely the server goes down. Okay, and native libraries accessible with JNI, Java native interfaces calls. So it is also a disadvantage. I mean, it is also a reason for crashing the server. Okay, and SSL native libraries. SSL means secure socket layer. I mean, if any person who is not authorized to access that application is giving username and password wrong each and every time, and if he is accessing the URL with non-secure protocols or non-secure URLs, so at that time the server cannot listen that request. If the requests are overloaded, definitely the server will crash. Okay, and the next point is JVM itself crash most of the time with problem with the JVM only. Okay, running without a disk space. So disk space is not available, the application server will not run. Suppose I have I mean hard disk space means nothing but hard disk space. Okay, in Linux system or Windows machine, so a drive should be having some space. Okay, so while I mean because the WebSphere server will write the log files in the server itself. Those log files are stored in hard disk only. If the hard disk space is not available, it cannot write the logs. Okay, if the server is whenever we found the server is not writing the logs means mm, logs means definitely it cannot serve the request. Okay, so whenever the server is serving the request, definitely that information will be recorded in the logs, but here there is no space to writing the logs. So at that time the server will not write, it will not accept any of the requests, so definitely it will go and crash the server. Okay, what is hang? Hang means crash. Here crash means the entire system going down, but here hang means what is hang? WebSphere server Java process still exists but not responding. Server is running but it will not gives any services, okay, to the client. So at that time, so what the reasons is certain threads are busy doing some other job. So certain threads are doing some busy doing some other job. The result is server is slow or even not response. Okay, so WebSphere application server is multi-threaded programming. Okay, so if it have multiple processes, so each and every process contain multiple threads. Okay, thread means lightweight process. Okay, it process the requests. Okay, and here the certain threads are busy with doing some other job. Okay, at the time the server will slow, but server will run but it is slow, it will not respond. Okay, and some other threads are in waiting state. Okay, so waiting state means, so it cannot execute all the requests at a time. It will store the requests in some space, and those requests are in waiting state, some threads. So at the time, the server will not respond properly. The users cannot access the applications, I mean, effectively. Okay, and so people usually confuse with the crash versus hang, but both are same. The meaning is server is not response. Okay, from from troubleshooting point of view, we need to collect the thread dump for analyzing. Okay, so being an administrator, whenever anyone reported an issue, so like this application is not accessible, then we have to take a thread dump and we have to troubleshoot the server. Okay, so I will show you how to take the thread dump and analyzing the thread dump also. Okay, symptoms for server hang, how we can recognize the server is hanged. Okay, requests or cannot processed, all the requests are in waiting state, it will not process. Okay, the server appears to be doing nothing at all. Okay, and the third point is the server may take longer time to process requests. Okay, if it is on the way of hanging. Okay, and what is the possible cases for server hang? So how the server hang is happening? The first one is insufficient thread configured. Okay, the server having insufficient threads. Okay, so then the server will definitely it will hang. So insufficient thread means, so server maintain some threads to process the request. Okay, so if we don't have threads, sufficient threads to process to handle all the requests which are comes from the client, so the server goes in hang state. Okay, and the second point is garbage collector, so taking too much time. Garbage collector means it is a Java process which sweeps unwanted objects which are running in heap memory. Okay, so garbage collector is a process. It sweeps unwanted objects which are running in heap memory. Heap memory means it is nothing but RAM memory. The websphere server will take some memory from RAM to run. So that memory is called heap memory. Okay. So the garbage collector job is it sweeps the objects, unwanted objects from the heap memory. Okay, so the garbage collector is not sweeping the objects if it is taking the time. Okay, so definitely all the unwanted objects will be stored in the heap memory, then the server will not run properly, it will not access, it will not serve the services for the application. Okay, and the next one is the JVM hang during code optimization. Okay, so these are all some reasons of server hang. And application deadlock. Okay, and JDBC deadlock. I think you know about what is deadlock.
And that is like process is hung, right?
Yes, correct. So it will not take new requests and it will not process existing requests. So that is called deadlock. Okay. So the application status is in deadlock. That means the application will not go for next pages. Suppose if it is in login page, it will stay there only. It will not go to the next pages. It will not navigate the remaining pages when you click on link buttons or radio buttons or some button. If you do any action, it will not go further. So that means application deadlock. Okay, and JDBC deadlock. JDBC means the database server cannot respond for the requests which are comes from the application server. Okay, so the JDBC deadlock happens if the connection pool size is less. Okay, connection pool means in JDBC concept we have seen connection pool size. Okay, connection pool means it is a set of connections. It is a reusable database connections. Okay, so the database driver, whenever the request coming from the application server, the driver take that request, and using this connection pool it establish the connection with the database. So if the database JDBC deadlock happens, then it will not serve the request. Okay, so at that time also server will hang. All the requests are storing in the server itself, then the server will not respond properly. Okay, and the next one is all threads are in waiting for the response on RMI calls to the remote JVM. So that means RMI means remote method invocation. Okay, so here in the cluster environment we do have multiple servers. So the servers are running in different missions. Okay, but the application is deployed on the cluster level, so that means the application is available on in the all the servers. Okay, so these servers will communicate with each other. At the time the application uses RMI protocol for providing the services. Suppose if it is enterprise application, the enterprise application contains web application and EJB application. So these two applications will go and communicate with RMI protocol. Okay. So if the threads are in waiting state for response, then the communication will not happen through RMI. So that is the meaning of third point. Okay. So JSP complication. JSP means Java Server Pages. It is code level error. Sometimes the code, whenever you deploy any code, you will face most of the issues with the deployments only. So whenever we are trying to deploy any application, the code will not deployable. So at the time the servers will go down. Okay, so that's why I have shown you, stop the servers and do the deployment, and again start the server, then the deployment will be successful. Okay, if you deploy the any of the application while the service is running, definitely that code will be a problem with the server, because the code having lot of objects and classes. So those objects and classes will maintain more data. So if it is business application, so at that time the servers goes down. So it we have to trigger an email to application team saying that there is a problem with the code. So definitely it will write a error details in the log files. We have to take the log files and provide the details to them, application team, so they will take care of that. So here JSP complaint means JSP, the server may long under heavy load. So JSP pages are normal web pages. Okay. So the pages while loading the server, it has more classes and objects. Okay. So if you have a lot of classes and objects, it will not serve the request sometimes. Sometimes this is not all the time. Only sometimes the JS pages will not be running on the websphere level. Okay, and the second point is improve our JSP settings for servlet timings. This is also a related to application. So these things we cannot do. We have to trigger. We have to send out an email to application team saying that, so we are getting this problem. Please change the code or provide the new web deployment file. So then we can deploy the application. That job we can do. Okay. And some JVM bugs. That means the server itself having some bugs. Okay. So bugs means it is like for example, um, it is related to the threads. Okay, so we cannot do anything with the bugs. So obviously we have to contact IBM people, so to rectifying the to finding the issue. So they will give you some fix packs or feature packs. Then we have to install those fix packs and feature packs in our environment to fixing the bugs. Okay, so at that time also the server will not respond if any bugs happens in the server level. Okay, so if the server crash or server hang happens, we need to take a thread dump. Okay, so thread dump is nothing but it is a text file, so where we can see all the thread activities. Okay, so for taking the thread dump we have commands. Okay, so and we have to analyze those thread dumps using some third party tools. Okay, so in the thread dump analyze, so we have to take multiple thread dumps. Okay, so one thread dump we can, if you take one thread dump you cannot analyze. Okay, so we have to take multiple thread dumps. We have to compare those thread dumps and we have to find out the threads which are the threads having the problem each and every time. Okay, so that we can report to the higher authorities and we can restart the server. We have to take the approval. If it is production environment, definitely we have to take the approval from the management. Okay, so we can show to them this thread dump. So we find out these threads are occupying more memory. So because of these threads the server is going down, the server is going hung state. So that they can understand, they will provide the approval so that we can restart the services from our end. Okay, so the first point is take thread dump. Just like we have to take multiple thread dumps. Okay, and give 5 to 10 seconds apart. Wait for possible notify calls timeout. Okay, and after taking thread dump we have to analyze that thread dump using third party tool. Here we use IBM TDA is the tool name. IBM TDA, it is the thread dump analyzer. TDA means thread dump analyzer. Okay, core dump is not required for us. It is related to operating system. So here what is thread dump? Thread dump is generated by the administrators. So that means who is maintaining production environment? Nothing but websphere administrators. Okay. And the second point is thread dump is a dump of behavior of websphere application server. So it is a normal text file. So in the text file we can see all the thread activities of the server. And the third point is thread dump is a textual dump all activity active threads and monitors of Java application running in the virtual machine. So the dump contains Java application information also. So we can see what are all the Java objects and classes are giving problem. We can identify, and we can identify server level threads also. Okay. How to take the thread dump? Obtaining the thread dump here, the most common way is kill-3 Java process ID on Unix platform. Okay, so in Unix platform, to identifying the process ID, we use a command like ps space hyphen ef grep java. If you run this command, it will display all the processes. Suppose if you want to see the process ID for the particular server, ps space hyphen ef and grep, give the server name. Suppose if you want to know the dmgr process, dmgr. Okay, so if you want to know the particular server 1, server 2 and server 3, here we have to provide the server name. Okay, so if you give like this specific server name, it will display that particular server process ID. Okay, this is one way. And another way is using administrative console. So go, you can see go to the particular server and runtime. There you can see the process ID. So that is second way. So after getting the process ID, we have to run this command. We can run this command from anywhere in the Linux system. Any path we can run this command. Kill space hyphen 3 Java process ID. Kill hyphen 3 means it is a signal. So kill having 64 signals. Kill command. Okay. So this is used for this kill command is used for to do the operations with the process IDs. Okay. Kill space hyphen 3 process ID. If you give this command, it will not shut down the server. It will generate a thread dump. Okay, if you give kill space hyphen 9 Java process ID, it will kill the process, server will go down. Okay, these two commands we use generally. Kill space hyphen 3 process ID. Terminate the Java process. Nothing but shutdown.
So when we use kill minus hyphen 3 Java process ID, it will create the thread dump in a separate file, or it will dump the right there.
It will create a new file. In profile directory you can see. Okay.
Or it automatically creates a file with the date and something
Yes,
like that.
date, timestamp, everything. The file will be created. New file.
We don't have to give anything on the command line.
No, no, no.
Uh,
Here we are giving the process ID of that particular server. So it will generate a thread dump in that particular profile. Suppose if I created a thread dump for server 1, okay. So by default, it will identify the profile also. Okay. Suppose I have created for app server 1 profile. So app server 1 profile having server 1, the server 1 I'm taking the thread dump for server 1, so the file will be created under that profile. Okay, suppose if I created for dmgr, it will created under dmgr profile. Okay, so it will automatically investigate it find out the server name and profile name. Okay, with the process id it will go and generate in the in the profile path. Okay, with the timestamp.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to generate a thread dump and we will analyze the thread dump also. Okay, let me start dmgr server for one profile. I will share you one document how to take thread dump and analyzing. The tools also we can download from internet. So one moment, it is in my mail. Sorry. Ping me your mail IDs. I will forward these two documents. Threadnum document. So we can take thread dump in two ways using vasadmin.sh command. So this is command line tool wsadmin.sh. Okay. So using this command we can generate a thread dump. The process is, so log in with the Unix box or Windows box. So go to the profile bin directory. So which profile, I mean which server we are going to take the thread dump, go to that particular profile bin directory, run this command. Okay, so wsadmin.sh or wsadmin.bat. So if you run this command, it will enter into the wsadmin. Okay, so after that here we have to set the JVM. So so for setting the JVM is, this is the command set JVM, give this command. Okay, so after that we have to provide websphere name, JVM process name, which server we want to take thread dump, and platform, node name, cell name. So everything here we have to provide. Okay, so after that admin control invoke JVM thread dump, dump threads. So this is the command to take thread dump. So it will generate under profile path. Okay, so if you don't want to use this wsadmin command, so you can use kill hyphen 3 process id as I told you. So this is simplest way. Okay, instead of setting the path and giving the every details, the simplest way is kill hyphen 3 process id. So it will generate a thread dump under profile path. Okay, so search the process id ps space hyphen ef grep java command and execute this command. So it will generate the um, thread dump. So another way is using administrative console. This is most simplest way. Okay, so log in with dmgr console, navigate troubleshoot tab in the left side and click on java core. So this is the, click on java code, select the server and click on java code. So it will generate a thread dump under profile directory. Okay, so these three ways we can use. Okay, any of these three. Okay, so after taking the thread dump, so we have to analyze, we have to take minimum three thread dumps for analyzing, for identifying the issue. So that we can come to know these threads are occupying, these threads are occupying more memory, these threads are not responding, these threads are giving the problem causes. So we can identify in the analysis. For analysis, there is a tool called JCA 457.jar. So you can download this software. I mean, this is simple jar file we can download from internet. Okay. So if you execute this command under Java bin directory, Java space -jar, give this command. JCA means Java Core Analyzer. Java Core Analyzer. The version is 475.jar. So if you execute this command, it will open a window like this. So this is IBM thread dump and monitor dump analyzer for Java. Okay, this is the analyzer.
Ramesh,
Just yeah,
Ramesh, where should
just
we
browse
can
the
download that?
thread dump. Just browse the thread dump or drag and drop the file from this tool. Okay, then it will give you the all the details like this. Okay, so click on
The
file.
jar file.
Sorry.
Quick question. The jar file, where should we download and which folder we should keep that in?
We have to keep the jar file under bin directory. See here, I have already copied. So this is my installation path. Under app server, there is a folder called Java. See here.
Yeah.
So this is the installation directory. So along with product installation, Java also installed by default. Without Java, we cannot do anything. So there
Right.
is a
Right.
folder called Java.
Right.
Go to Java and bin directory. Here we have to copy. I have copied JCA 7
457.
457. This is simple Java file. I will show you how to download also. Okay.
Okay.
So keep the file here and now generate the thread dump. Sorry. After running that command, it will open a window like this. So we have to browse that thread dump. Click on file here or analyze whatever. So click on file here and browse. Okay. So it will give you the details like CPU usage, memory usage, user process resource limit, command line arguments, everything we can monitor for the particular server. See here, if you come down, so this is analysis. Click on analysis. It will display the threads information. Okay. So green means runnable threads. This blue color means waiting threads. This parked threads. Okay. So now I'm going to generate a thread dump. Open administrative console for this. Let me check the process ID. Not process ID. Port number. DMGR3. So for downloading these two jar files, you can directly Google very slow. First link, IBM TDA. To come down, there is a download link. Otherwise, I will share the two files with you. It's better. I will share you the two files, no problem. So login. The same file you can use for Linux machine also. Those two are jar files, so we can execute anywhere. Executable jar files. Here there is a tab called troubleshooting. Expand this troubleshooting. Here Java dumps and cores. Click on this option. It will display all the servers. We have to choose the server, which server I want to take a thread down, and you can wait. Okay, so DMGR is already running, so I'm going to take a thread dump for that. For shutdowning servers, well, we cannot take. Suppose server 1 I cannot take. Node agent also I cannot take. If you run these two, we can take for these two also. So as of now, I am taking for this DMGR. Here, click on core Java core. Okay, Java core means it will create a thread dump. Okay, if you click on heap dump is different. We will discuss that also. And system dump means it contains all the threads activities of operating system also, not only websphere. It will take entire operating system threads also, but the system dump is not required for us, so only we will generate Java core and heap dump. So just click on Java core. Java core requested hands into the server DMGR. Okay, now go and verify the thread dump in the background. So go to DMGR3. So here you can see, so this is the thread dump file. Now it's generated 11:24 9:11 time am. Okay, this is I have generated yesterday, so we can remove this. This is not required. So this is generated now. Okay, now I'm going to generate again. This is very simplest way. Now go and verify. So the dump is created. Okay. So for analyzing this thread dump, copy the analyzing file in Java bin directory. Okay, and we have to run a command. So copy this, open another command prompt, java space -jar jca 457.jar. This is the tool. We can use in Windows and Linux servers, both the tool. It's a simple jar file. Here, browse that file, click on file here, open thread dump. So now browse the thread dump here. So this is the dump. Select this and click on open. Now it is opening. Go to analysis. Sorry. Okay. So it is showing all the threads information in the window. See here, from the scratch it is showing the path, the file path. Okay, and cause of thread dump. Dump is requested by the user. Okay, through jvm dot is the command, and the timestamp and the process id. So this is the process id for the dmgr. Okay, and if you come down, just come down, operating system details, and if you come down, these are all the objects, and garbage collector also run, and java heap also is showing java heap. The maximum size is 256 MB, and it is taking 50 MB in that. This is the java home and bin directory also, and the system class path. These are all the objects. This table is nothing but command line objects. These are all the objects and classes, and come down. This is the memory memory segment analysis. So this is important. So this is the status of threads. Here you can see runnable deadlock threads are 0, runnable threads 13, waiting on connection 100. Okay, and parked means it is also a like a storage area. So those are 53. Okay, so we have to generate 2 3 diagrams and analyze. We have to find out here blocked threads and suspend threads and waiting monitor. Okay, these three we have to identify: waiting on monitor, blocked, and suspended. So if the three categories are displaying any number here, so the server having some problem. So the three threads having the same problem, we can show this analysis to the managers. So this is the cause of the, this is the problem with the server. So the server is not responding, the server is going down, we can say to them, and then take the appropriate approval from them, and then restart the server. Okay, so without showing this report, they will not accept the restarting the service. So restarting service means it is in production, restarting service means very big job. Okay, we have to take the downtime. So the application will not be accessible that time, business will impact sometime. Okay, so we have to take the approval, necessary approval, and do it. And thread method analysis. So these are all the threads. So what are the threads are running with the name? Okay, these are all the 13 threads. Okay, everything here you can see. And thread type. So this garbage collection we will discuss in heap dump analysis. This garbage collection is very important. Okay, and after this, if you want to see graphical, go to analysis, click on memory segment analysis or user process resource, whatever you want. Okay, thread details, I want thread details, just click on thread details here. So here it will display only threads, particular thread, each and every thread, what are the threads are running, what are the threads are waiting with the name, everything it will display. And if you want CPU segment, go to the CPU. So CPU utilization, here you can observe this is the CPU usage, free memory and usage memory. So this is the advantage of this tool. Select the thread dumper. Okay, let me do memory segment CPU. This is okay. Click on thread status analysis option. The same information here you can see in this circle. So runnable threads, packet threads, and waiting on connection. Okay, so is it clear? Thread dump analysis, generation and thread dump analysis.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm stopping here. Tomorrow, heap dump generation and why we need to generate heap dumps. What is heap dump and analysis? We will see tomorrow.
రాంబాబు గారు,
Uh,
టుమారో అండ్ డే ఆఫ్టర్ టుమారో థ్యాంక్స్ గివింగ్ హాలిడేస్ అండి. ఇక్కడ ఎవ్రీబడి ఈస్ ట్రావెలింగ్. We
uh,
got few friends coming. So can we restart again on Monday?
అయితే మండేనా మళ్ళీ అయితే?
యా, ఎందుకంటే రేపు నుండి థ్యాంక్స్ గివింగ్ అండి US లో.
ఓకే ఓకే, థ్యాంక్స్ గివింగ్.
లాంగ్ వీకెండ్ వచ్చింది. థర్స్డే, ఫ్రైడే, సాటర్డే, సండే 4 రోజులు హాలిడేస్ వచ్చింది.
Okay, okay. We have two sessions. One for this heap dump, and we have some fixed packs, and that is theory only, fixed packs and feature packs. And one more class for SSL. Two sessions we
ఎస్
have.
ఎస్.
Okay, Monday and Tuesday we will finish it off. Okay.
ఫినిష్. అది ఇంకా అది మిగతా కూడా చెప్తున్నారు కదా, మిస్ అయినాయి. లిబర్టీ
నేను
లిబర్టీ
లిబర్టీ ఫైండ్ అవుట్, అది లిబర్టీ నేను ఎక్కడ వినలేదు. అడుగుతున్నా మా కొలీగ్స్ కూడా, నేను కనుక్కొని చెప్తాను డెఫినెట్గా.
అలాగండి.
One
సో
ADS also, Tivoli ADS.
అవి అనదర్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ అండి. ఆ టూల్స్ అన్నీ మనం ఇక్కడ చెప్పలేము. అదంతా సెటప్ రియల్ టైంలో అయితే ఆల్రెడీ సెటప్ చేసి ఉంటాయి. డైరెక్టరీ సర్వర్స్, టీఓలీ డైరెక్టరీ సర్వర్, ఎల్డాప్ సర్వర్స్ అవన్నీ మనకి ఇక్కడ అవి పైరసీ ప్రింట్లు కూడా మనం డౌన్లోడ్ చేయడానికి కూడా రావు ఐబిఎం నుంచి సాఫ్ట్వేర్.
సో మనకి ఇంకా మండే, ట్యూస్డేతో అయిపోతాయి కదండి?
అయిపోతుందండి.
ఓకే అండి. అయితే నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ ఇంకా మీ ఇండియా టైం మండే మార్నింగ్ పెట్టుకుందామండి అయితే.
మార్నింగ్ 8 o'clockకి ఇదే టైం.
ఓకే.
ఓకేనండి.
ఓకే.
ఈ 2 ఫైల్స్ మీకు షేర్ చేస్తాను మెయిల్లో, డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి.
ఓకే, అలాగేనండి.
బాయ్.
ఓకే.